All right, are we ready? We got our players over here getting some practice in here. All right, so coming up we have max score run between these two. Lovely. I love how they're practicing the exact same level right now. That's quite interesting. I got them right. Let's see. We got we'll have Yoshi with the audio. All right, so here we go. We're going to get ready and get this race going here. Fade out the music, please. Perfect. Let's fade it. All right, y'all. We're going to pass it over to W. Carrick, and he's going to commentate this race. You ready? Let's get it going.
Race. This category is not going to be the standard category based on exits. It's not even going to be based on beating Bowser or saving the princess. We're kicking it old school today, and we're doing max score. So this is a pretty interesting run with a nice route, and we get to see a kind of well-known bug in the Japanese edition if you play the game. This might be pretty new for a lot of y'all. Alright, and we have Yoschimiidtsu on the left-hand side, who is currently third place on the leaderboards for this category. thugkjj on the right side. Both of these runners hailing from Brazil. Both really cool guys to watch. I enjoy them both. So they should be getting started rather soon, and we'll be kicking this off. Alright, it looks like these runners will be getting started very shortly. I want to throw out some big good lucks for both runners. Neither one of these runners will be going the orb route on this. They'll be going orbless, because during a race setting, it usually becomes just who can get orb and who doesn't. And they want to keep this race nice and interesting for y'all. I think that's a great idea on both of their parts. And they are off. Now, the rules for this are going to be simple. These guys are going to start off at 0 points, and they need to get to 9,999,990. And it sounds like a lot, but these guys can get through it pretty quickly. There's nothing too much to speak of in this level. You'll notice Thug immediately hitting all those Koopas, getting a little early score boost on Yoshi right there. We should be looking for a 360 timer unless these guys want to show us a little extra swag and throw down the 361. And you'll hear me refer a lot to the time in-game. You'll see it right up top next to that empty blue item box. 360 from both runners, very good job. Now this next level can cause a little bit of some havoc, and especially in races when nerves can be high. This is Yoshi's Island 3, where they need to pull off a box jump here in front. Pulling off two very tight jumps, Yoshi accidentally hitting that block, taking an early death. It's going to give Thug a little bit of a lead ahead of him. These guys are looking for a 259 on the timer, and to get that, Mario needs to utilize those wooden platforms that are going to move right with him. That'll give Mario the little extra juice he needs to squeeze out that 259 instead of that 258. Yoshi back in for his second attempt while Thug exits with a very clean 259. He'll be heading into Yoshi's Island 4 next. Yoshi's right behind him, finishing with a 259 on his second attempt. Now there is a possible shell jump in this level, right here in the middle. I'm not sure if we'll see either runners going for it. Thug deciding to avoid that shell. He's going to continue moving on, narrowly avoiding those spike balls. Good pathing on his part. He's going to make it through just fine with an optimal 275 without going for the shell jump. Yoshi getting that shell jump, an incredibly hard trick to do. Amazing job on him. He's going to eat into that lead just a little bit, finishing this level up with a 276. Fantastic job on Yoshi's part. Thug entering room 1 of Iggy's castle. This can be pretty tricky with the tight spin jumps he has to do and manage his cage grabs well. He's got one last jump here, and then he'll be able to hit that door and move on into room 2. Not too much of an issue in room 2, as this is a little auto-scroller before they hit the Iggy fight. Alright, and they're going to be picking up that flower so they can get a quick kill. You will see that flower used on a few of these castles here. They're very good for end bosses. You'll see why in just a second as Thug jumps in. Few quick fireballs sliding down, and he is out of there. Very nice 241. Can't ask for much better than that. Yoshi's still hot on his heels going into the Iggy fight too. Nice using the slide strat as well. He'll clear out of there with a 241. Both of these guys in the cutscene at the same time. They'll be heading into Donut Plains shortly, where they're going to grab themselves a cape and hope that it lasts them for quite a while. You'll see a few levels where they'll do some flyovers, and while they can look serene and kind of peaceful, these guys can manage their speed, and they want to get the fastest speed that they can through it. When Mario's parachuting around, his speed oscillates in 5 different values, from 47 to 51. And when you start flying like Thug is, you lock into one of those speeds. It could be the 47, which is slower, or it could be the 51, which is the fastest. And these guys can manipulate that speed by tapping right while they're parachuting. Just a small tap, but you run the risk of what just happened to Yoshi. He held onto it for a little too long, pressed it at the wrong time. When diving down into those clouds, had to pick up P-speed again elsewhere. And there's no guarantee that you're going to lock onto a faster speed. It's mostly just a gamble. Alright, we see Thug going through Donut Secret 1. He's going to go up into this pipe to what we call the dry room, grab this shell and pop out, and that's going to allow him to go as much faster through the second portion of this level. They will be taking the normal exit, which is going to involve them switching out this shell for a P-switch. Reasoning behind that is when you have a shell and spin into a fish like you've seen them do, there's a big chance that you're going to lose that shell, and potentially the fish will hit you and you'll lose that cape. There's no such issue with that P-switch. You're able to just dice right through those fish with no problem. Getting out of there with a nice 252 from Thug. He's having a great run so far as he heads into the ghost house. This level will be pretty straightforward. There's not too much to it. They just need to fly themselves to the end, and in room 2, the exit will be waiting right on top. The biggest thing you have to worry about here is doors. You'll hear lots of complaints from SMW runners about doors and just how finicky they can be. Looks like Thug had no issue as he clears out of there with a 283. He'll be moving on to Donut Plains 3. This is the first of 2 flyover levels before Morton's Castle. So it shouldn't cause too much of an issue, but there is a little bit of a hindrance at the beginning. There's an early P-speed he can get if he relies on these moving platforms. He was able to get it there. We see lots of runners not be able to make it. It can be kind of a hit or miss P-speed get, but it's nice to get that early P-speed if you're comfortable doing it. Yoshi's still right behind him, entering Donut Plains 3 as well, getting that early P-speed. Alright, and they got one more level before Morton's Castle, which is the level we saw both runners practicing, and I'm sure you'll all know why by the time we get into that castle. It can definitely change the standings of this race. Now, an interesting question is whether or not Thug is going to grab himself a Yoshi for a little bit of safety. You don't need to grab a Yoshi in this run. You're going to go ahead and go above Vanilla Dome. It seems like Thug's going past the Yoshi, so he feels he's going to go comfortably through Vanilla Dome 1 later in the run. Because if you take that Yoshi, he's not going to last very long. He would mostly just be there for a little extra hit. Both of these runners feeling comfortable with their routing, so they're going to go on without him. Leading us to Morton's castle. This is what we saw both guys practicing. First thing they want to do is take a little flight and get up into that secret pipe. It's going to lead them into a bonus room that they just turn around to get out of. It's mostly just used so you can skip the natural room too. And this Morton fly here that they're going to be attempting can be very, very troublesome. There's not a lot of horizontal area to maintain your flight, with this being a vertical scrolling level, so they really need to manage their cape well. Thug's doing a beautiful job of it so far, switching to that flower to get the quick fire kill on Morton. Yoshi's still right behind him. Good use of that spring, bouncing up. And he is in the fight. 2 quick fireballs and a jump is all he needs to get through. Yoshi having a little bit of a hiccup there. If he can still manage this same cycle, it's not going to cost him. He's in a weird place where he shouldn't use that spring. Alright, he managed to use it over on the far left side instead of throwing it down into the spikes. Very smart move on Yoshi's part. He could have lost it all right there. Thug's still barely holding on to his lead coming out of World 2. These guys are going to be going into Vanilla Dome 1 coming up. As you can see, they both have their cape after switching back, using that fire flower to kill Morton. For most of these Koopa kids, 2 fireballs and 1 jump is all. If they didn't have that, they would have to rely on a natural 3 stomp Morton. Much slower. So this level can be a little tricky because they need to get up to the key exit, and they don't like using vines and speedruns. So you're going to utilize all the vertical height your cape allows. Thug did not get the flight he needed. He's going to have to pull flight from the right side. And every inch of that height is used to get up to that platform, grab that key, and get out of there. That's going to let Yoshi eat into a little bit more of that lead that Thug has had over him. Going up for his attempt, he is able to make that, and he'll be meeting up with Thug in Vanilla Secret. This is another level very similar to Morton's Castle, in which it's a vertical level with not a lot of horizontal space for you to maintain your flight. Thug making it through that choke point pretty well, having to rely on that spring to make sure he got through the opening. Same with Yoshi, these guys are having mirror runs right now. Of course, Yoshi having a little bit of trouble on those green beans. Sometimes they don't want to bounce you off when they're near the top of the screen. They can be a little finicky, but no mind as he is out of there with a 275. Alright, these guys got a couple of flyover levels before they reach the fortress. There shouldn't be too much standings change in these next couple of levels. Thug dropping down though, of course, as I say that, he needs to get himself in the air. He's not in a good position to do it. Alright. Getting past those piranha plants. Good job. That's going to let Yoshi catch up just a little bit more. That is what he is looking for. Looks like they'll be getting out of it fine. And they've got one more level to check out before hitting the fortress. So let's go check out some dolphins. This level is a great place to remind everybody what we're here for. And this, the Nothin but Sonic and Mario, or is it Mario and Sonic? It's a 2-day speedrunning charity event supporting Child's Play Charity, and it's a fantastic organization that seeks to improve the lives of children in pediatric hospitals and other child welfare facilities through the kindness and generosity of the video game community and the power of play. And if you'd like to show your appreciation and support for this great cause, use that command donate to learn more, and you're also going to gain access to the schedule, so you can find your favorite Sonic or Mario game, find your favorite runners, and follow along with this awesome marathon. Big shoutouts to Big John for putting this on. Alright, Thug will be the first to enter the fortress. Yoshi is hot on his heels. This can be a pretty tricky fortress. They need to play it super tight to these ball and chains right next to these fish. There's lots of damage that could be taken in this fortress, but these two guys are usually pretty comfortable going through it. We could see a really cool trick though. Here at the end of room 1 there's a pipe, and when Mario goes down through it and comes out, they're going to spin their cape at a precise moment. there will be a chance that they can despawn a thwomp that's off screen on the right side. We call it Thwomp Boss. It's pretty low risk, low reward, but it looks great. So you'll see that spin on Thug's side. Unfortunately, the Thwomp is still there, so we have to do a little turn back to get around. A late spin on Yoshi will net the same results, and Thug will be heading into this Reznor fight, hoping to come out with a clean kill. Great job on Thug's part. He's going to come out with that cape, with that flower. Both of them out of the fortress at the same time. These guys are keeping it super tight. This is what you want to see for sure. Especially when they're going into the most exciting level you will ever see. Get your PogChamps out for Butter Bridge 1. This level has been scientifically engineered to produce the maximum amount of excitement. Will it go to the right? Will it go more to the right? Who knows? Both of these guys are going to play it on the ground to show off these bouncing platforms. Absolutely incredible, gorgeous landscape and scenery. One of the longest levels in Super Mario World, and that's fortunate because it's clearly everyone's favorite. The amount of joy these runners are getting right now from even being in this level, I can't even express in words. I'm lucky you guys are all here to witness this. Good job on all their parts. Knocking out some Koopas. You know, a little bit of controversy whether or not people like to let the Koopas go or not. It seems Thug and Yoshi specifically are very unforgiving. But wow, whoa, the level is moving upwards and to the right. Could this get any crazier? Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Thug has found stable ground on the yellow. Oh, there's Mario. Popping out of the top of the screen. They got just a little bit left, unfortunately, you guys. This level will be coming to a close soon. I know. But it'll always be there in our hearts, and that's what really matters. We thank Butter Bridge 1 for always being there for us. The most exciting level I've ever seen. Thug's the first one through the pipe, and he's going to be leaving first. Now you'll notice this is a max score run. Let's not forget what we're here for. They need over 9.9 million points, and they're only 250,000 up. So things are going to get interesting pretty soon here. They really need to ramp things up if they want to hit that max score quick. This Butter Bridge 2 is their final flyover level before they hit Ludwig's castle. And these castles are a real big regulator about who's going to be coming through. Just because you're in the lead going into a castle does not guarantee in any way that you're going to be in the lead when you come out. And Ludwig's castle was a great example of that. Alright, Thug is through Butter Bridge with Yoshi just seconds behind. Now heading into Ludwig's castle, we get to see some cool cape tech here that we call cape canceling. When Mario is moving down in a parachute animation, he is not going to take damage. You'll see here as Thug dives through these ball and chains, taking no damage whatsoever. Goes straight into iframes. This room too is super neat, especially seeing that cloud strat where he's going to try to fly under these Podoboos, not taking any damage. If they were to hit him, there's a big chance he could get knocked right in that sketty sauce, and that's not what you want to see near the end of this run. Switching over to Fire Flower to get that quick kill on Iggy. Both of these runners need to manage their cage grabs wisely. Thug just blazing through it. Yoshi's still right behind him. 2 fireballs and a jump is all you need, and he's out of there. You're going to switch back to Feather so you can get yourself some flight in the next level. We're going to be moving on to the Forest of Illusion. Now heading into Forest of Illusion, this will be the final level that they're coming up on. So I'm going to take this cutscene to kind of explain what's going to be going on here as best as I can, and then we'll be able to really dive into it once they start pulling it off. In this version, there's a lot of what we call wigglers, the enemies that look like caterpillars that get really angry when you stomp on them. There's quite a few of them in this level. And these two runners are going to go up to a very specific spot where there's 3 of them in a row. And if they can just continually bounce off of them without touching the ground, and they're going to keep pulling to the side so the wigglers go off screen and respawn and get fresh hits on them, you're going to see the score, coins, lives, and everything start rolling over real hard, real quick. So we're getting very close to the setup here. Both runners grabbing a Yoshi here. They just passed one location where you can pull off this trick if you want. They go to a spot they're a little more tighter grouped up. They're able to achieve that score a little faster. And here we are. These guys are going to hit these Koopas. Get rid of them. Get them out of the way. They're just nonsense anyways. And the bounces start. You see we're at 2,000 points, and then 4,000, and 8,000. And after a while you get a 1-up, and then 2-up. And now things start getting a little weird after the 3-up. The game has no sprite for 4-up. So what are they getting right now? A bunch of glitched sprites. And keep your eye on the score as it starts ramping up like crazy. Thug getting over 50,000 in that one hit right there. Now he's well over 2 million, picking up over 1 million points in one hit. This is where we're going to start seeing increase. Yoshi from behind, coming up, taking the lead now. This is coming down to who can manipulate their spawn rates better, who can drop faster. It looks like Yoshi might take this. He's already at 7.6, 8 mil. He's getting close to that 9.9 final time. Oh no, he dropped on the ground. Oh, he dropped on the ground. He has to start the score rollover again. Thug is catching up quick. Will Thug take this? This is the final moment building up to 9.9. Yoshi right now does not have the comfort of his Yoshi, taking damage in the final moments. Oh no, that's going to allow a Thug to come up at the last moment from 9.2 to 9.8 to 9.9 to max score. We have a finish time from Thug, narrowly escaping losing the lead to Yoshi. Throw out some big GGs for thugkjj right there. He will be our winner today in the Super Mario World max score race. Yoshi needs to finish up his run here. We are just moments away from both runners being done. It is great to see these extra categories come out. It is not a run you would see that often. I want to thank both runners for bringing that out and showing all of us here today. Yoshi coming up on his right now. We have hit max score on both runners. What a great ending for that. And that just goes to show you don't have to beat Bowser to show off a cool speed run in this game. Alright, it's big GG's to both runners, thugkjj and Yoschimiidtsu. If you want to see more of thugkjj, he will be here tomorrow in the Sonic and Mario Marathon, playing some 11 exit glitchless in this game. So you guys will be able to satisfy your curiosity and get to see how Bowser Kill is done as well. So I think that is going to do it for us here with the Super Mario World crew. Thank you guys for watching.
Man, how amazing was that, man? Who would have thought that was going to be like so crazy at the end like that? I didn't see that one coming, honestly. You know, I don't think a Mario score has been stared at so intently in my life ever than the ending of that race. I'm telling you, man. My mic is low, I know, don't worry. You know how loud I get sometimes. I'm trying to be nice so I don't blow your earballs off. But nevertheless, man, we are going to get ready and keep going here. Thank you, by the way. Shouts out to WCare with some fantastic commentary, man. You can get that guy a talk show or something. You know?